What is going on, everybody? Thammagotcha here. Welcome into another video. We're going to be hopping into the Ultra League with a staple team in the meta that has been around for almost ever, that got buffed recently with the Thunderfang buff to Steelix and the Ice Punch buff to Alolan Sandslash. So this team got me from rank 18 all the way to my ELO, as you can see. Not the highest starting ELO I've ever gotten, but it's a start to the legend run that we're going to be going on now. So Dragonite, honestly, one of the best Pokemon in all three leagues, meeting the terrible lead of, what was that? Articuno. What a spicy Pokemon from my opponent. So I do one Dragon Breath, and then I defer the damage onto my Shadow Steelix here. They bring in a Skeledirge, which is a scary Pokemon for this team. Honestly, Fire kind of wrecks the backline, and then the disarming voice coverage that it has for Dragonite can really put in a lot of work if it overfarms enough. But we put this thing into a range where we can Dragon Breath it down since we have lowered its defenses by 2 stages. Maybe if I went for the Breaking Swipe, that Dragon Breath right there would have KO'd. And then they come back in with the Articuno, which is perfectly fine by me. So what I want to do in this matchup here is I don't want to get rid of this Articuno right away. They are doing all resisted damage, and my Alolan Sandslash can take it. I don't want to be put in a position where I take out this Articuno and they come back in with a Skeledirge, get energy from me, and then take out my Dragonite with a couple disarming voices or grab all my shields. So what I'm going to do is stall out the switch clock timer with Ice Punches, take it out, come back in with my Dragonite, completely farm down that Skeledirge, and out comes a Guzzlord, which gave me energy to get to this Dragon Claw. Dragon Claw is going to grab a shield, and with all this energy on my Alolan Sandslash, we should be able to take this game with a 2-0 shield advantage, and my opponent knows that this game is over. So GG's, well played to my opponent there. They tried to draw back out my Dragonite by swapping there, but I realized that, so I was able to kind of play around. So hopping to the next matchup, terrible lead here. Dragonite into Cresselia. Cresselia has that Moonblast hitting for super effective damage, so I farm up to 7 Psycho Cuts, and then I hop into my Steelix to catch the Moonblast. They hop into an Umbreon. What a cool pick. Even a best buddied Umbreon doesn't even get the full 2500 CP. But this thing can tank hits for days. So I'm going to make sure to throw on proper move timing, which is 1, 4, or 7, or a 2 into a 3-turn fast move. Breaking Swipe going to be coming in. We do get the attack ball, which is super lucky on our end. That means these foul plays are not going to be doing as much damage. So 4 Thunderfangs and then the move. I think Dragon Tail might be a better matchup for this specific situation. But we even draw a shield from our opponent, which is perfect. I know we'll have another foul play. They're not really going to ever snarl us down. So again, 4 and then the move. Breaking Swipe going to be coming in. This is not going to KO the Umbreon, but we get another attack ball, which is amazing. And I do really want to keep switch advantage, so I'm going to shield back. I don't think I can Thunderfang down, so I'm going to throw another Breaking Swipe. And if they want to shield this, I'm completely content with shielding back and then going for a full farm down, hoping I get it. So foul play coming in, 1, 2, 3. We get the farm down, leaving with the move. You love to see it. What is going to come in? It's going to be the Cresselia. Cresselia comes back in. We're going to go for a Breaking Swipe here, hoping for that attack fall. Oh my gosh, the coin flips are on our side today. Three Breaking Swipe debuffs there from the 50% chance. In comes a Walrein. I kind of make a little bit of a mistake here, but not so much. Because I come in with the Dragonite, I had loaded energy, so I superpower them, and that's going to give me the chance to completely farm down this Walrein before they get to an Earthquake, which would be threatening. All shields down. I'm just going to go straight Ice Punch here. Double Ice Punch should just be enough to knock it out, especially with the buff. They go for the Grass Knot. Not very effective. Double resisted due to our Steel and Ice typing. First Ice Punch coming in. Yeah, that looks like a 2-shot to me. Second Ice Punch. Cresselia is so bulky, but with these Shadow Claws and Ice Punches buffed, it should be enough to knock out. I do believe now in neutral situations, you do want to go for Ice Punch, as you get same type attack bonus as well. And instead of Drill Run you only want to use for super effective purposes. So hopping into the next matchup, Dragonite into Golurk. Golurk not going to be doing a lot of fast move pressure. They no-shield this, so I'm going to no-shield back. I know I'll have a Shadow Punch, and I should just be able to Dragon Breath down after this. And now out comes an Aurorus. I bring in my Steelix. They bring in a Venusaur. Nice spicy team for my opponent here, but I'm going to go through the Psychic Fangs, lowering their defense by 1 stage. I know one Frenzy Plant's not enough to knock me out, and we get the CMP tie there. Gonna no-shield this move. Frenzy Plant comes in. That does a lot of damage. And then from here, this game is pretty well just over. They can shield this move all they want, but their defenses are lowered 2 stages. I have a shield advantage here. I can no shield this. I can now come in with my Alolan Sandslash. I can go for a full Shadow Claw farm down without even committing a shield. And then we just have so much loaded energy to shield to 1 advantage on this Aurorus. And 1 Drill Run should almost just be enough to take out this Aurorus here. So Drill Run going to be coming in. I will be shielding up everything just in case they decide to sneakily throw a Meteor Beam. And I do believe I should just be able to outpace to 3 Drill Runs before they make it to 2 Weather Balls and a Meteor Beam. So I just have to make sure to watch for a catch. So I'm going to shield up this move. I know it's probably going to be a Weather Ball, but excuse me, sorry. It's better to shield it than to not. My opponent makes a catch onto the Venusaur, but Ice Punch is just going to be enough to knock it out. And they're so low that Dragon Press take out the Aurorus anyways. So GG's, well played to my opponent there. And this team gets another victory. So regular Gliscor, they hop into a Drapion. I'm going to hop into my Steelix here. Steelix is a pretty good matchup. Thunderfang or Dragon Tail against Drapion. But Drapion can spam out these Aqua Tails, which kind of makes this matchup a little bit iffy, but not when you get the attack ball. I know I live this Aqua Tail now. There's no reason for me to shield, and I'm kind of hoping I just outpace the next one. And I'm like, okay, with the attack fall, I can definitely live this one. I can commit to a full farm down here, but I don't get it. I kind of miscount. Having to give up a shield, which is a little bit unfortunate on my end. Didn't really want to do that, but I know I live a Sand Attack, and we're going to get both of these Psychic Fangs off onto this Gliscor here, which is going to be advantageous for us because they're double debuffed. They come in with the Tentacruel, and I don't think I have a way to win this game now. Or I do. We'll have to see what happens. Drill Run comes in. That gets shielded. I'm going to no-shield the first one just in case they decide to Acid Spray me. Skull comes in. That does a lot of damage. Thankfully, no debuff. I should now just be able to outpace the 2 Drill Runs here, but I thought this was a bit early. And I no-shield it, and then I get taken out by a Scald. If I shield that move, I just get the 2 Drill Runs. And the second Drill Run should have just KO'd the Tentacruel here. And then I have my Dragonite on the score, which honestly would have been an advantageous matchup since Sand Attack isn't doing a whole lot of damage, and Air Release is not going to KO us. So from here, all I have to do now is commit to a full farm down. If I commit to a farm down, I win this game. Air Release does not enough to knock out. We have the Dragon Claw locked and loaded, so we get the win condition anyways, and Dragon Claw knocks out the Tentacruel there. Woo! Didn't think we were going to win that one, but we did. GG's, well played to my opponent. Hopping into the next matchup, Dragonite is just so good. Dragonite into Primeape. Primeape, gonna be able to get to these Rage Fists pretty fast. I don't need to shield the first one. It's gonna do some damage, especially with the Shadow. Oh my gosh, that does a lot of damage. And then out comes an Aurorus. I kind of make a mistake. I should be coming in here with a Alolan Sandslash because we're gonna outpace these Drill Runs and throw into super effective damage. I don't need to shield the first Meteor Beam as Alolan Sandslash, and we're just gonna be able to take that matchup cleanly and hopefully not leave a lot of farm for that Primeape. But I make the mistake. I come in here with Steelix. We'll have to see how this plays out. So my opponent's gonna go for another Weather Ball. I was thinking I could probably farm down almost, but they decide to hop back into the Shadow Primeape. We get the shield, which is very nice for us. I don't really want to take any Karate Chop damage on my back 2 Pokemon, so I will be shielding up the Rage Fist. We get the full farm down, which is amazing, and we even get to this Dragon Claw for that Aurorus. So we either grab the last shield or take out this Ice type. Out comes the Clefable, and this game is really over from here. As long as this thing doesn't have Meteor Mash, then we should be good to go. If it just has Swift and Moonblast, we're in the driver's seat. Swift not going to be doing a whole lot of damage. I have to just make sure I get the 3 Drill Runs, as 1 Drill Run is not going to be able to knock out this Clefable. So what I do is I hard pivot into my Steelix, hoping to get that Psychic Fangs debuff off, but I don't think it's worth a shield at this point. Swift just enough to knock us out, and we come back in with the little Sandslash. Gonna no shield everything from here. Because they're only throwing Swift, I know they don't have the. I know they're not throwing the harder hitting Moonblast because they're not charging up to it. So if you're my opponent here, at least charge up to the harder hitting Moonblast, because maybe 2 Moonblasts would have been enough to KO me. But I would have been enough. I would have had so much energy. But in that situation, I was going for Drill Run. I think I definitely want to go for Ice Punch, as we had a 5-0 set there to end that first set. So Dragonite into Rhyperior. This might sound like a great lead, but this thing has Breaking Swipe for me, and if they want to, they're going to outpace me here to the first one, or I didn't want to throw on the Cap Tie there to give them a full Mud Slap. So I go over They throw right away. I throw 2 Dragon Breaths and then the move. We get the attack fall, which is not very good for us. Gonna shield up this next one here. Or no, I do let it go, and look at how much that breaking swipe does. They can't mud slap us down, or they could if they wanted to. If they double shield here, they could potentially mud slap us down, but it would have been close. Out comes an Alolan Muk, and I bring in my Steelix here. Steelix is going to be a great counter to Alolan Muk. Poison Jab is going to be double resisted due to our steel typing. Breaking swipe going to be coming in. That's going to nullify a lot of this attack that is going to be done, but they just decide to acid spray me. Out comes a Giratina altered, and this game is really over. All I had to do is just make it to breaking swipe after breaking swipe, and when I show them the Steelix and Sandslash, they know the game's going to be over. So gonna have to definitely gonna no shield this. They go for a Shadow Force left, right. Good night to the Steelix. I know this is just a Dragon Claw or a Shadow Sneak, so there's really no point in shielding this, as Dragon Claw is going to be resisted due to our steel typing. They try to catch here on the Alolan Muk. I overfarm significantly. That way I have a Drill Run and an Ice Punch locked and loaded. They decide to top left, so GG's. Well played to my opponent there. The game was over regardless, because they threw that, what do you call it? The Shadow, or they threw the Dragon Claw. I knew I didn't have to shield. So in comes a Jellicent. Gonna no shield the first Surf. I just want to gauge how much this is gonna do. Gonna throw 1, and also I didn't want to throw giving them a full Hex because my game was being very, very laggy. I didn't want to give them a reason to give any free energy whatsoever, so I just waited for them to throw on proper timing. Like, look at that. The game is just being super stuttery. I will shield up this next move, and then I'll commit to a farm down from here. But out comes a Deoxys. I seen the Psychic typing, and I thought it was Cresselia. Did not think a Deoxys was going to be coming in here. So what do? I hard pivot into my Alolan Sandslash, and we are just going to get extremely punished. If I bring my Dragonite into this situation and then have my Alolan Sandslash on there, Alolan Ninetales, we just cleanly win this game. Especially since they're throwing Psycho Boost. I think they're throwing Thunderbolt. It would have been a close matchup, but Dragonite with the Dragon Breath plus Dragon Claw, plus we had a shield advantage over them. Like, we just would have probably won this game. But unfortunately, we make a huge misplay, and we're going to end up losing this game. And very well played to my opponent. Little sneak here. But hopping to the next matchup here. Cobalion into Dragonite. This is not a terrible matchup, but it's not a great matchup either. But it looks like my opponent is lagging. Unfortunately for my opponent here, they are lagging significantly. They're not coming back into this game, but this superpower should just clearly one-shot a Cobalion. And let's see what they have in the back. I do believe it was 2 water types, so it was Cobalion double water. So even if they didn't lag this, I think that game would have been very, very close, but my Shadow Steelix would have just went to town. And yeah, all I had to do is tap Psychic Fang. Very easy to play, and we would have won the game. So unfortunately for my opponent, they lag out. We do win the game. That's going to be a good game. Not played, I guess. Okay, hopping into the next matchup. Dragonite into Tentacruel. This is a pretty neutral lead. Not the best lead for Dragonite, just because the bulk on Tentacruel is absolutely insane, where they can take a Dragon Claw and all these Dragon Breaths, where a lot of Pokemon can't really do that, and they can force a shield for me. So not the best matchup for Dragonite here, but I do believe I can't even farm down from this health range, so I'm going to opt to throw this Dragon Breath, or Dragon Claw, sorry. And then out comes a Guzzlord. I'm able to make it to this Dragon Claw, which is absolutely amazing for us. We do get the shield from my opponent, and I decided to come into my Alolan Sandslash. So we're going to be able to take this Brutal Swing or Crunch. It is a Brutal Swing, which is nice for us, but now out comes a Pangoro. Oh man, I really wish I saved my Dragonite, because this Pangoro is just absolutely shredding through my steel types. Psychic Fangs doesn't even get shielded, but from here, I know they doubled up on close combats, but there's no way I'm going to be winning this game. Close combat almost knocks out the Steelix, and that Guzzlord with a shield up is just going to be able to obliterate this Alolan Sandslash, even doing resisted damage. Brutal Swing going to come in. Not going to be enough to KO, but from here, they can just Dragon Claw me down before I get the 2 Ice Punches, and that's going to be a good game. Well played. Hopping into the final matchup of the video, Hippowdon. Let's see if this thing is on Sand Attack, which it is, and they get to Weather Balls before I get to the Dragon Claw. So it kind of makes this matchup a little bit uncomfortable. They could potentially win Switch if they wanted to, No, they couldn't. I could just 2-shield through it. Yeah, Dragon Breath is going to absolutely shred this thing. They know it. I do elect to shield this move because I do want to keep switch advantage. I want to be able to, well, yes. And now in comes a Primarina, out comes a Giratina, and this game's over from here. It's a Charm Primarina too, so Alolan Sandslash is going to go to town on it. Giratina is going to have a horrible matchup here. They're both very bulky Pokemon, but we're doing this super effective damage with Breaking Swipe. Even though Thunderfang is resisted, we got an attack fall after the first one. My opponent knows the game is over. That's going to be a good game. Well played to my opponent, and a 3-2 set here to end the video. After this, I went another 4-1 with this team, climbing up to 21-07. And that's where I'm going to be starting today with it. So thank you all so very much for watching. If you are liking the content, please hit that like button. Comment if you want to see anything in the future. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button because it really helps out the channel. And it is greatly appreciated. And we will see everybody in the next video.